Welcome back to the Money and Wealth Show. We're talking with Garth Turner. And Garth, the Conference Board of Canada, a couple of months ago, around Christmas time, predicted that British Columbia's economy would be the healthiest of all the provincial economies in Canada, Olympic bump notwithstanding. And you have that look on your face like, oh, sure they are. What is it about BC and the way we do things that really gets under your skin? Because clearly it does.
Well, I think BC does have a lot of great potential. There's no question about it. The whole post-Olympic thing it's going to be a glow that carries on for a while, for some months. And I think it was a good spectacle, a good showcase for the world. And there will be some positive momentum that carries forward, but it will end. Every Olympic experience kind of ends, trails off the same way. There is a lot of debt that's going to be left in the wake of all of this, and both Vancouver and British Columbia are going to have to deal with that. But you know, when we talk about BC economy flourishing, I have a hard time seeing that. Looking at commodity prices right now, the forestry industry is decimated in the north end of this province. The mining industry is in a lot of trouble. And I just see, a whole economy that's been based on natural resources having a tough time right now, in my view, bursting out of that because we had a good Olympics.
Well, let me pick you up on the commodities aspect of your observations, because we are a very dependent on the resources sector economy in British Columbia. And yet, we've talked to people who are very bullish on the commodity sector in the medium and long term, as the demand from growing economies like India and China, yes, they're trying to ease off the accelerator a bit, but the demand is still essentially overwhelming. Why then would you be pessimistic with respect to BC's prospects as a commodity supplier?
I am not pessimistic in the long run, but I fail to see any boom in the short run. I really do. You're not going to have the lumber industry come back until the United States is building houses again. Yeah. Okay? And these guys, you take a look at the latest numbers for housing starts in the U.S., they plunge by 11% in a single month. They're awful. So you're not going to have that softwood lumber industry come back until that happens. And we're not shipping, plywood and 2x4s to China right now. So that ain't happening. So I see some real problems there yet. And I think in the short run, there's a lot of mill capacity that's going to keep prices down, and that mill capacity has to come back up. So I just think BC is got long-term potential, but I do not see it as tomorrow's part. And I'm very worried about this real estate thing. Okay, well, Sterling, I continue to say it.
Exactly.
I think this is a huge wealth effect generator in the province that has masked a lot of reality. It's made people feel wealthy because their homes have gone up exponentially, but it is very much a bubble situation.
Now, when in 2010, if indeed it is to be this year, do you expect that bubble to, in some way, burst?
As I said, there's going to be a post-Olympic glow that's going to probably accelerate housing prices a bit more, particularly in Vancouver.
But just then, what we need.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it just makes it more affordable. It just makes it higher so it will fall lower. That's all that does. But you're going to see the HST July 1st.
Yes.
You've got interest rates going up in the summer, and you're just not going to have an economic bounce going after that. So, and I do think the provincial budget is setting the scene for more cuts in provincial services along the way.
I think that's a gimme.
Yeah, exactly. Schools closing, emergency services pared back, this kind of stuff. So all of that to me would suggest that 2010 will be the end of this. I don't think it's going to fall off a cliff necessarily, but I see this, super tanker slowing and then starting to turn. And it's going to take a while. And when it starts to turn, it's going to be fairly dramatic. So I still think the market, for example, in Vancouver and Victoria, is overvalued a good 20%, but it could fall 40%. It all depends on local conditions. It went up way too fast because people locally thought, man, we live where everybody in the world wants to be, and it's going to fall when people understand that that isn't exactly the case.
Our special guest this week on the Money and Wealth Show is Garth Turner, and we'll have lots more with Mr. Turner after this.
Good afternoon. My name is Larry Ray. I'm the Chairman and CEO of Molycorp Gold Corp. As the name states, we do have a deposit we're developing in British Columbia, which is a pure molybdenum deposit. But our focus these days is on magnesium in Nevada. Through serendipity, we discovered a large deposit of magnesium running about 10% with a high purity and consists of about 256 million tonnes at this time, 52 billion pounds. Our main emphasis is to move this project forward by beginning a drill program later this year in which we can increase the integrity of the resources into the indicated and inferred, as well as increase the resource itself. For further information, please visit our website at molycorp.com or phone us at 604-531-9639.